how are you? I'm so glad to see you again. I want to talk to you today about entertaining. For the next several weeks, we're going to talk about entertaining in your home and doing it properly. You know, the idea is not to entertain your family as well as you do your guests. I think it's quite the reverse. My wife teaches me that you should entertain your guests as well as you do your family. Now, that means that the first entertaining rule is you want to have a good time yourself. So you've got to be prepared when your guests arrive, have everything ready so that you can enjoy yourself too. And one of the ways to do that is a tapas bar from Spain. T-O-P-A-S, tapas. And it comes from this weird custom, and I think it's a wonderful custom. In Spanish culture, in the evening, you eat very late, 9 o'clock, you see. And in the meantime, you go to tapas bars, to beautiful sherry bars. You pour a glass of fine Spanish sherry. You know, they invented the sherry. And then, in the old days when this started, in order to keep the flies from your glass, from getting into the sherry, they have good taste, you see, you would put a piece of toast on the top of the glass, thus the name tapas. Isn't that a riot? And then you nibble on the thing as you go along. So let me show you how we can put out for a tapas bar, really all over the counter, and have a wonderful time doing it and enjoy Spanish culture. It's very sophisticated and very beautiful. First of all, we're going to prepare some shrimp in garlic. You knew it right away, garlic, right? Well, you know, you're with the Frug, so away we go with the garlic. We're going to prepare some olive oil in our pan. Get your pan good and hot first before the oil goes. I'm going to turn on another one here too. I have some ham chunks for you and some squid in tomato sauce. And everything's going to be a little bit hot the first time around, but that's all right. All right, olive oil into our pan, and we're going to add a bit of garlic. What's a bit? Oh, I don't know. For half a pound of shrimp, I'm going to put in 2 good fat cloves, and it doesn't have to be in little pieces. You don't have to run it through a garlic press. We'll just go ahead and get it in the pan this way. Just going to let that toast a bit. And we'll come back to this now as soon as the garlic is toasting. We're going to go on now to another dish. There we are. The second one that I want to do for you is simply called ham chunks and tomato. We have a bit of tomato sauce in a pan, very little really. And to that I want to add some red wine. Bloop, there we go. Come on, pan, get hot. We are. A little bit of red wine. What do I have? No, I have a half a cup of tomato sauce, half a cup of red wine. We're going to add a bit of chili powder. And you do this to taste now. Don't ask me. You do this to taste. Chili powder and a shot of Tabasco or cayenne, whatever you'd like to spice this up viciously. There. Now, see if I can find the ham chunks. And what I have prepared are simply, this is not uncooked ham, but and nor is it fresh. It's smoked ham or cured ham. And we're going to put that into our hot tomato sauce and let this cook for a bit. You get the idea? Everything's cut up in bite-sized pieces. And we're going to put them all in little plates and then put them on a buffet. And you don't even sit down at these tapas buffets. You just stand around and nibble off of the buffet. I suppose this is for the Spanish nosher, you know what I mean? Okay, we'll let that simmer for a bit now. Let's go back to our beautiful shrimp. Now this one's simple. Nice garlic oil. And we'll put our shrimp in the pan. These are good-sized shrimp. If you can't afford these, don't feel bad or guilt or anything else. Just use a different kind. A little bit smaller would be fine. Oil, garlic. I want to put in just a shake of salt, not much, and a tiny bit of chili powder. Better not shake that in like that. You put it in your hand first so you can tell what you have, you see? Otherwise, you're going to make them too hot. And now we'll toss those a bit. Remember how to do that? Dip your pan forward, see, this way, so that you can just, they'll slide to the front and flip a bit. Flip a bit. Boy, we're into it again. All right, those are going to be finishing nothing flat. Let's go back to the ham chunks because we have a lot to prepare today. Now, I'm not trying to threaten you. I'm simply saying that when you entertain, if you have everything all done before your guests get there, then you can sit around and talk to your guests, and that really is the point. Savarin, the great French gastronome, said that you're responsible for the joy of your guests all of the time that they're under your roof. So none of this running around last-minute jazz. No fair. I have a third one I want to prepare for you. I put a little bit of spaghetti sauce in the bottom of my pot. Let me get the squid now. I have to show you how to clean a squid properly, but I want to put a little bit of red wine in this. Just a bit in my spaghetti sauce. There we go. Oops. It's going to be hard for me to tell you what I'm doing next today because everything's cooking at once. The shrimp are done. Look at that. Now, in order to serve these, You can put things in anything you have a lot of. You see, you can use little white dishes like this. These are little porcelain boats. Or you could use little onion pots. These would be fine. Or you can use round dishes. Or you can use your breakfast cereal bowls. I really don't care. Use anything you want. I'm going to use a bunch of Italian dishes. I know these aren't Spanish, but they sure look like they're Spanish. So here we go. We'll put the shrimp. Oh, that's wonderful. Isn't that a gorgeous dish? Isn't that beautiful? Shrimp with chili powder, a little bit of garlic, olive oil, tiny smidgen of salt, very quickly cooked. And we'll put this down and get on to another one. Wonderful thing. All right, let's see how the ham chunks are doing. They're fine. I just want to heat them up. I don't want to overcook them. Don't want to overcook any of this stuff. And my wine and spaghetti sauce looks good. Let me show you when I'm putting the spaghetti sauce. Do you remember, if you were with us a while back, we cleaned some squid. Now, if you haven't seen this process, for heaven's sakes, don't get all antsy and picky and leave the room. You sit still and watch, or I'll get you. All right? The wonderful squid is cleaned thusly. You simply grab the whole body in one hand, you see, and pull the head out of the body. You'll get all of the innards except for the little cuttle bone. And the cuttle bone is removed thusly. Look at this thing. Isn't that fascinating? It's a piece of plastic that's, you know, it feels like plastic in any case. Then squeeze out the innards. Oh, stop it. It's just a piece of fish, for heaven's sakes. And then we'll cut them up. Let me get rid of the big platter here, because I have some that I prepared for you ahead of time. You see, what I want to do now is to simply cut them into little rings. You see? Here's the whole tube now. And we're going to cut them into little rings, thusly. And when these cook, you'll have a little bitty circle. You see? Isn't that clever? All right. Into the hot spaghetti sauce they go. Now, these will not take long to cook. You've got to watch this. You do all of this before your guests arrive, you see. Or at the last minute you would cook the squid, of course, and the shrimp and the ham chunks can be done ahead of time and just reheated. Whoops, I almost put my squid spoon into my ham spoon, or into my ham sauce. I don't want to do that. You don't want to mix these flavors too much. I haven't even tasted the ham sauce. Let's see what's going on here. Oh, that's... I told you to make it hot. I did it. That's just delicious. You see, the idea of the tapas bar is to put out all of these foods that are nice and or they're spicy and wonderful and refreshing, and then you just stand and eat all afternoon. All right, those are... let's let the squid cook a little bit longer, and we'll go on to some more. Another one that you might enjoy making is a sardine casserole. And this, I know it sounds silly to you, but oh boy, wait till you see it. Find a little fat casserole. Here's one. And now the next ingredient, 2 cans of sardines. And I'm going to drain them. And if they're very oily, I would rinse them off. Rinse them off in a little bit of water very, very quickly. I don't want you to sit them soak for a long time. Now then, here's the recipe. Are you ready? On the bottom of a casserole, you place 1/4 cup of olive oil. And then put in 2 yellow onions sliced up. Then you put in the large, rinsed off, what do we call these? Sardines? That's right. And on top of that, some sliced sweet roasted red pepper. You can buy these in any Italian market or any, well, most supermarkets have them. As a matter of fact, they're called roasted sweet red peppers. And I've sliced mine up so they're julienne. I'm putting in about 1/2 cup right on top. And on top of that goes another 1/4 cup of olive oil. There you are. Did you get that? If you want salt on it, you can. But I think the sardines have enough salt in them already. You don't really need that. And this goes on the top, or goes in a 350-degree oven for about ½ an hour, so that when your guests arrive, everything is ready to go. I have one in here. Let's see what it looks like. This one's all baked and ready. Here's a plate. I don't want to put this. I'm going to move this for you. I don't want to put this on my board. You remember, you don't ever want to put hot things on your cutting boards, because you'll ruin the food, or you'll ruin the board. It'll begin to taste like, there it is, begin to taste like cooked food or burned out food. We don't want that. There it is. Oh, look at all. See how the oil piles up. It's very thick in there. And what we're going to do is dip bread into this sardine-y, oniony, sweet pepperish oil. Okay. The squid are finished. The ham chunks are finished. Let's get these out on a plate here. We've got to roll along or we're not going to make it. Excuse me, I'll put this one aside. Ouch. There it is. That's the sardine casserole with onions. And now we'll do the ham. If I can find my pot holders. I've met so many of you on the road when I've been out talking to you about my cookbook or doing demonstrations in your city that I have to laugh at the things you've said to me because obviously I have some strange habits that you've picked up and that you think are funny. One gal, one of you told me to write wonderful in her cookbook because I guess I say wonderful all the time. Another one said, write heavenly. You say heavenly all the time. I didn't know that. So now I don't even want to listen to myself. The ham goes in one pan, the squid go in another. Oh, now we'll get into some quickie dishes. And I'll put these aside. And we can move on now to, why don't you make some stuffed eggs? You see, this thing can just go on and on and on. Do some stuffed eggs, but when you do your piping, or do your mixture, simply put in some chopped, a little anchovy. One anchovy, little flat anchovy for each egg yolk. And then pipe them. And we'll put a little bit of pepper on each one for an additional garnish. I have a whole plate of these here somewhere. Here they are. All right, you see how beautiful these are? And we're going to serve these. I have some more so that when these disappear, because they're going to disappear in a hurry, I can give you some more. I can fill up the plate, so to speak. Now, let's see. After the stuffed eggs, this one's so good. See, I've lost total control today. I can't help myself. I'm not even going to show you how to do this. I'm just going to tell you. Put about a cup of almonds, blanched almonds, in a pan. Along with, in a baking dish, you see, along with a bit of olive oil, salt, some ground cumin, and some ground coriander. Now do this to taste. That's all I can tell you. And then put this in the oven at 350 for about half an hour until they're toasty brown. Oh, probably not half an hour, probably 20 minutes. Watch your oven. Now this, along with a glass of sherry, is just a classic in Spain because it keeps you drinking the sherry. And that's the point of the sherry bar. The guy wants to sell you sherry, you see. And you don't pay for all this food. You buy a glass of sherry and join it. Oh, I better do this. Sorry. Let's put them in the bowl here. I want everything to kind of match if I can. There we are. That's enough. Put these aside and we'll find some more. The possibilities are simply endless. I've even heard of tapas bars that have potato salad on them. You see, you have a little squirt of this and a little bit of that, and you're on your way.